God, they can add an anti-cheat, but they can't fix these loading times for No, no, I stood up! Ah! So GTA got an anti-cheat. It only took them about 10 years. 10 years too late, because the game is already, like, half dead and on its way out. But, you know, 10 years, GTA, anti-cheat. Why? I don't know. I don't know. The modding issue was around for years, so I don't know what made them have a sudden change of heart all of a sudden. But it's different now. And, I mean, I'm not exactly complaining, because, you know, they've needed this for a very, very long time. It's been a long time coming. GTA has been nonstop. You join a lobby, they tell you where you live, and then they crash your PC because they can just do that with the click of a couple of buttons, and those lights just turned on behind me. But it's been a long time coming. Modding has been a problem constantly. I mean, you know, everybody in the entire game, even if you have nothing, you have millions of dollars because modders will just join the lobby and give you all the collectibles. You like having the collectibles is basically a standard at this point because of that. So obviously, I don't have a problem with like anti-cheat in video games. I think that it's a really good idea, and I think that having it is perfect for any situation because you should have it at least on a base level. I mean, Rockstar tried, but they failed. Their anti-cheat was abysmal. Now, I have one slight problem, and obviously this isn't the part that this doesn't apply to consoles whatsoever because consoles have their own little anti-cheat setup. It's really hard to cheat on console anyways. Obviously, it's not impossible, but it's a lot harder than it is to cheat on a PC. And my one problem with this new system is pretty simple, actually. It's Battleye, dog! Of all the anti-cheats that we got chosen for this game, Rockstar chose Battleye. I don't care, alright? Put an anti-cheat in the video game all you want. Right? That's fine. Every game needs an anti-cheat, like I said before. But why? Why would you choose Battleye out of your own volition? Battleye is the worst possible option to choose for a video game. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's got its strong points, I guess. But, like, I genuinely, sincerely cannot understand a company who has taken 10 years to make this decision. And they choose Battleye over anything else that they could have chosen. Like, why? Why? Like Fortnite, for example, has been running on easy anti-cheat forever, and, like, the cheating problem in that game is not that bad. There's not many cheaters in Fortnite. I mean, obviously, any game you play, you're gonna run into cheaters, but the difference is night and day. Compare it to, like, Siege, for example. Siege is a game that has Battleye, and ranked a cesspool of cheaters that they haven't done anything about, and that's completely on the anti-cheat. I mean, hardware ID bans, shiver me timbers, they're passing out hardware ID bans with Battleye, but, like, hardware ID bans, like, bypassing them is the easiest thing that you can possibly do with a machine. It takes, like, maybe, at your worst day, $20, and, like, an application that switches your hardware ID for you, maybe even, like, swapping your graphics card if you really want to get that. Passing out hardware ID bans isn't something to be scared of. It's just something that's gonna, like, it's gonna slow down modders for about 15 minutes. And then they're going to go right back to normal business selling their mod menus. Because obviously, you know, if you go on Google and you look at any of the mod menus that exist for this game, clearly none of them have stopped selling their services. So clearly none of them are actually very scared of the issue of there being anti-cheat for them. They're going to have some complaints, obviously, because it's a paid software, but paid cheat providers aren't going to stop producing paid cheats. They're just going to produce better cheats, and it's never going to go anywhere. To keep working on Battleye, I don't really understand the random move to add anti-cheat to a game that's about 10 years old, and it's on its way out. I don't understand the thought process to do that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense why they would just come out of the blue and say, all right, so for the, what is it, like the 11th anniversary of this game, they're releasing an anti-cheat update for whatever reason, even though their next game is coming out next year, and Red Dead Online still hasn't gotten anything in 2 years almost. You know, I got baited. I saw the GTA update for anti-cheat, and I went on Red Dead and I looked and I was like, oh, you know, maybe they'll add it to Red Dead. No, why would they do that? Why why would they support Red Dead Redemption 2, the game that literally got Game of the Year, or rather, sorry, got scammed at a Game of the Year, supposedly. I don't exactly care that much. But the popular opinion is that it got robbed of Game of the Year by, like, God of War, I think, or something like that. But why would they add it to this game and not that game? The game that's actually newer, the game that needs it, the game that's having severe issues because they completely stopped support for it for no reason, because it wasn't a cash cow for them. But yes, let's add it to a 10-year-old game because we make a bunch of money off of it, even though we never cared before, but we cared now, suddenly, for zero reason at all. But it's whatever. I mean, they can add an anti-cheat all they want. I just think that it's going to be about a week before we're back to the absolute mess that this game was before, and it's not going to be pretty, because now it's going to be a bunch of stuff that goes for the root level. Like, because obviously Battleye is a root level cheat, anti-cheat rather. And so they're just going to have to make root level cheats, and it's going to be a lot worse for the other people because they never had to make root level cheats before. So I mean, there's a lot more that they can do with that. Believe me. Just, it's going to be a miserable time once they get that back up and running. I mean, enjoy the week. Enjoy the week. Because I guarantee you after a week goes by, people are going to be cheating again just as bad as they were before. Maybe a little bit stifled, but because it's Battleye, it's not going to get any better. It's just going to make it, it's like a bandage for a problem that's going to be continuous. And I get that, like, PC, you know, PC is miserable. PC is always full of cheats, but it's going to be miserable no matter what you do, and this is just a band-aid for a problem that's not going anywhere. I mean, it's a start, definitely, but I think they took the wrong step forward, and it was more a little bit angled to the left, because Battleye was definitely not the step that they needed with the amount of cheats that they have, because the amount of cheat providers that they have, they're going to make things that work. Like, they're going to make things that work. They're not going to make things that no cheat provider for this video game is going to give up, because they have people paying money. Like, nobody's going to give up. And it's not like, you know, they should just start sending cease and desist to these people if they really wanted to get something done. Not that I say that, like, you know, it's a big whoop, whatever, but, like, and obviously it's going to crop right back up if you send a cease and desist to one person. They're going to rebrand and go somewhere else. Like, it's just going to happen over and over again. But the step in the right direction was not Battleye, because Battleye is a miserable anti-cheat service, and I mean, obviously it's had its improvements over time, but it's not getting any better, and it's not going to get any, it's nowhere near perfect, and it's not going to do the things that they think it's going to do, because this game has so many people that just want to cheat on it because it's got such a grindy mechanic. Like, that's the thing, is that the game basically incentivizes cheating because it's 10 years old, it's on its way out, and they still expect you to grind or pay money to them to have money in the game. So people are going to cheat. They're like, there's almost an incentive to do it because it's a dead game completely. This PC version hasn't received any updates. Like, why would they even add anti-cheat in the first place if they're not going to add stuff from, like, the PS5, like the, you know, the premium edition upgrades, like GTA Plus. I'm kind of glad that GTA Plus isn't on PC, let's be honest, but, like, if they're not going to add stuff like that, then why would they add an anti-cheat? Clearly they don't care at all about any of it on PC, like any of the people on PC, because they don't really add, they add the updates, but they don't add, like, you know, the ability to get the old cars that they removed from the game, for example, that they added on PlayStation and Xbox. But yeah, let's add anti-cheat, because that's totally going to get anything done, because, you know, people still want their old cars, and, you know, the only way to get those old cars that don't exist anymore is through cheating. So now people have even more of an incentive to cheat, because they lost their ability to get the old cars from the previous updates that have been removed, because Rockstar has some weird obsession with removing them. But anyways, this is just my complaining rant of GTA-ness, because this game is gonna fall apart, right? Like, this game is gonna have a good little downfall right before the next game comes out, which, I mean, in a way, I can almost guarantee you that this is something to do with GTA 6. It's probably a test to see how it works. I almost bet you that I could bet money that they're doing this so that they can see if they should put Battleye into GTA 6 online, because they're obviously going to have online for it, and they're obviously expecting it to be a moneymaker, but they don't want to have the same problem that GTA 5 did, where there was cheaters rampant at all times on PC. So they're probably doing this for the last, like, year-ish of the game so that they can test and see how it's going to work, and if they need to make changes and make updates, then obviously they can. And so that means that Battleye is probably going to get a lot better, which I'm looking forward to. Battleye as an anti-cheat is definitely going to get a lot better, because that means if what I'm saying is true and they're testing this for the next game, Battleye is going to get a lot better as a result, because they're testing it, and Battleye is probably going to work pretty closely to make sure that they have it nailed down before the next flagship comes out, because they're not going to just release a AAA game with a half-baked anti-cheat and like, picking Battleye is a bad choice right now, but I can almost assume by the time that GTA 6 has its release on PC, Battleye is going to be a whole different ballpark because of the fact that they're doing this now rather than then. And I have a weird feeling that if Rockstar is going to stick with Battleye, Battleye is going to have to step up their game, because they're going to be basically the anti-cheat for one of the biggest games of all time that's going to come out, because GTA 6 is genuinely going to be one of the most massive games that releases in this decade, and it's going to be like one of those. It's going to be a judgmental moment for Battleye, because if they can't pull it together for GTA 6, then they're not going to be able, like, I can almost assume that they're going to lose business, because they're just like, you know, if they can't pull it together for the literal, like, one of the best, biggest, most hyped, most, like, anticipated AAA titles of the next decade, then why would they be a viable option for anybody else, unless they have, like, some steep discount. But anyways, that's all I've got. So, see ya.